Oh my God. Got him. Good one. Good one. Don't do it. I know, hold on. Hang on, hang on, hang on. What's going on, guys? My name is Andrew Sarar, and I just got finished up with my monthly club tournament over at New Hogan Lake, and all I can say is it was a roller coaster of emotions all day. But when the dust settled, we ended up in 5th place out of about 30 boats with 12.19 pounds for our best 5. And here's how we did it. Now don't worry, this video isn't just going to be me talking behind a camera. I got a lot of awesome footage from this day of tournament fishing, so be ready to see that sprinkled through this video. So going into this tournament, from the information that I had from my partner who had pre-fished the day before, and from a lot of other people that I know who pre-fished for this tournament, the bite was tough. Honestly, getting 5 decent ones seemed to be a struggle for most people. So, you know, I knew it wasn't gonna be a phenomenal day. But I do have a good amount of experience at that lake, and historically, I've done pretty well when it gets tough at that lake. So, going into it, I was a bit optimistic. So the first hour comes and goes, nothing really much happening. We went over to a spot that we know was holding fish, but making them bite was the tough part. Lucky for me, I pulled out my old trusty drop shot, and I got 3 bites off of this spot. The problem was, I lost all 3 of those fish at the boat. Now look, for somebody like me who fishes the drop shot all the time, my hook to landing ratio is really, really good on a drop shot. Losing 3 in a row destroyed my confidence completely. But in tournament situations, it is so important to keep your mindset positive, keep an open mind, and be looking forward instead of, well, they're just not biting well today. So I decided to make a couple adjustments before moving to the next spot. So I started out fishing something that was a green pumpkin that had a little bit of like violet and blue in there. It had a lot of that flake color in it. And I just think they needed something a little different to really hold on and hang on to it. So that's when I switched to the watermelon red flake color. Now the water was super clear, so having that watermelon red made it a little bit more translucent, which I think was good. And I do think the red hue made it look much more like a crawdad, which was their main forage. On top of that, I made sure to check my hardware too, make sure my hook and my line was all good, which they were. And I even added a little bit of attractant to the worm so that they'd hold on and not let go. And sure enough, we motored over to our next spot, which was a collection of trees that I know holds fish. It's held fish in the past, and this time of year, it's probably still holding fish. And then this happened. Oh, that looks like, look at those. Oh, there's a lot of fish right there. One of them dropped down on it. And there's that guy. Oh, he ate it. Got him. Good one. Yes, sir. Let's f***ing go, dude. And there we go. Number 1 in the boat. A great start to getting to the 5 bass limit. My confidence was going back up. I felt like I had things rolling. Felt like I was more confident in the color that I was using. I was ready to go. And then 2 casts later, this happens. There's fish right at the base of the tree. Oh my God. Got him. Good one. Good one. Don't do it. I know. Hold on. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Let's go! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! That fish ended up going on the scale at 4.09 pounds, which I know to a lot of you does not seem like a big fish, but for this lake, that is a huge boost to your 5 bass limit. That 4.09 ended up actually being the second big fish of the tournament. Big fish of the tournament was a 4.41. So, I mean, there you go. That's a pretty big fish. Now we had 2 solid fish in the boat, and we knew just getting a limit at this point was going to put us in contention. If we caught a couple more decent sized fish, you know, that 3-pound class fish, we had a chance at winning this thing. Now, those fish were sitting at the base of trees in about 8 to 10 foot of water. On the front deck right there, I was utilizing that live scope to really see these fish swimming in and out of that tree, and I really just made very specific casts trying to get it in front of those fish, and then those fish were diving down and grabbing the bait. Unfortunately, that was the only 2 fish I got out of those trees, but it was a huge confidence booster, and we started looking around the shallows since the water temperature went up to 70 degrees. And every now and then, we'd see a fish that was just cruising the shoreline. Looks like they were looking to make beds here soon, but they weren't locked onto anything. That didn't stop them, however, from stopping, turning, and eating a drop shot when it came past their face. So for the rest of the day, me and my partner ran around to different coves and pockets where these fish would be going up to spawn, and we'd start looking around and trying to sight fish some of these cruising fish, throw a drop shot or a Ned rig out in front of them, and we'd get them to bite sometimes. I was also able to utilize some live scope on a couple of them to actually see them way out there, throw to them as to not spook them by getting right up on them with the boat. Oh, that's a bite. Fish. I don't think it's big. Ha! I saw him on the scope. Look at, there's another one with him. So I'll throw a few of those clips in there too from a couple of the other catches we had. We even had one fish, I'll put that clip right now, that was sitting in a tree. I ended up casting to it after my partner let me know, hey, there's a fish in that tree. And, you know, I was fighting that fish in. It came up like a rocket out of the water, and the bait came loose. But my partner, shout out to my partner Dave for the best netman award. We ended up catching that fish, and it cold out. Life was awesome.
That is a net jug.
So a couple of the key baits that I was able to utilize for this tournament, for all these shallow fish, especially the cruisers, Number 1 was a Ned rig. Now this Ned rig, this is a Z-Man TRD hog on just a simple Z-Man shroom head. And let me tell you, it was awesome for those finicky fish. I ended up catching a few on that. But the main contender for getting these fish to bite was a good old drop shot. Now I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. This little drop shot rig that I have right here is probably what I use 90% of the time. Now on my drop shots, I typically use about a size 2 circle hook or an extra wide gap circle hook. Me personally, I have been using the BKK Predator. It has been an awesome hook. The hooking to landing ratio has been awesome, except for those first 3 fish, but we won't talk about that. The worm is a 4.8-inch Bass Pro Shops worm, actually, that resembles the Jackal Flick and Shake. And the weight, of course, if you guys have followed me, is the Woo Tungsten Invisishot. I was using the 1/4 ounce weight, but I was going down to 3/16 at times to give a more subtle presentation. And I had 8-pound Sunline FC Sniper. We ended up overall catching about 12 to 15 fish, cold a few times, ounces and ounces and ounces, all the way up to that 12.19. And honestly, 5th place is awesome for a tournament that was that tough. So the biggest takeaway that I have from this tournament today is that you need to adapt. And adapting does not need to be making these giant changes. The subtle nuances can really make the difference between losing fish and catching fish. Today, it was as simple as the difference between a green color with blue and a green color with red and a little bit of attractant. So pay attention to those subtle details and it'll change your entire day. And especially when money's on the line in a tournament, those little details matter. So that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you guys enjoyed, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.